If you're currently having issues with your traditional grip, don't worry about it. I'm going to fix you right up. I'm serious. Look, I'm wearing the hoodie and everything. Welcome to today's lesson. I'm your unlicensed instructor, Flamuel Jackson, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm here to help you fix your traditional grip. You clicked on this video because you're having problems with it, whether it's constantly missing backbeats, can't bounce the stick, no control, all of that stuff we're going to fix today. Hopefully, anyways. So let's just get straight into it, all right? The first point that I want to address, go to this camera over here. First thing I want to bring to your attention is this area right here, all right? This is what I call the cradle. I'm putting this one first because this is probably the most important part of the traditional grip. The butt end of your stick is going to sit firmly right in here, all right? This is where most of the magic happens, right there in the cradle. So you got to make sure that when you're holding the stick, you're aware of this and you have a firm sort of grip on the butt end inside the cradle. This is going to make a lot more sense as we go along. Point number 2, all right, this is the second checkpoint. Right there, this joint right here in the thumb, okay, that middle joint, critical, all right? This is what's going to keep that butt end of the stick nice and firm inside the cradle, and this is where all your power is going to come from, right? So between there and here, okay, you're going to feel that sort of, that bone right there is going to be firmly kind of, you know, holding that butt end of the stick in place. So, you know, whenever you see that, that one exercise that everybody says to do when you're developing the traditional grip, where you're kind of doing this, right? That is all happening between here and here, all right? That's basically the whole exercise right there. Now, when you're doing that exercise, you're not doing this, okay? If you start doing this, you're gonna start getting some pain right here. The point is to rotate the hand back and forth. And again, the stick is being held firmly in the cradle with that middle joint in the thumb. Checkpoint number 3 is the index finger, all right? You got to think of the index finger as the dribbler. This is the dribbler. So when you're talking about rebound strokes, the reason why you want to curl this finger around the stick like that is so you can get it in position for all of those rebound strokes. The rebound strokes don't happen here. That's this guy's role. So right? So that is the role of the index finger. That's the whole point of curling it over the stick so that it's in position to do its job. Checkpoint number 4 is actually on the index finger, and it's right there, all right? That middle digit of the index finger, right here. When you're holding a stick, okay, this is all about control, all right? Especially when you're getting around the drums. The key to making that grip feel nice and secure is pressing the button, okay? That middle digit, you want to make contact with the end of the thumb and the middle digit of that index finger. And this is the all yeah button right there, okay? So just make sure that you're pressing that, okay, when you're holding the stick, and that'll fix that problem. Now let me just talk for a second about the role of the ring finger, all right? The ring finger is sort of like your springboard or your trampoline or however you want to think of it. Right now, all I'm doing is I'm bouncing the stick off of that last digit right there of the ring finger. And this is what creates lift for the stick. All right, so when you're doing rolls and stuff, like single strokes, like you got to think of that as your springboard. So that's the role of this finger, and that's why you want to make sure that, you know, it's playing the right role in that grip. This plays a big part in making sure that your traditional grip is nice and sexy. All right, so just curl that finger underneath the stick, just like that, and then you can get around the kit . So just to recap, let's go over those 4 points again. Cradle, boom, right there, butt end. That middle bone in the thumb, that middle joint, keeps it nice and firm. Curl that index finger, boom, right, so you can get all your rebound happening. And the button, the ooh-wee button, the all yeah button. This is what it is right here. Now this last point that I'm going to show you is going to be the one that fixes the problem of inconsistent backbeats, all right? If you're constantly missing backbeats while you're trying to get used to this grip, you're hitting the rim all the time and it hurts, this is gonna fix it, and it's just a tiny adjustment. If that's happening to you, take a look at the position of your thumb on the stick, all right? If your thumb is like this, it's facing up like that, that could be your problem. When it's in this position, what you end up doing is bringing the stick down with your index finger. That's not what you want to do, all right? You want to bring the stick down with that middle joint in the thumb. So you got to imagine bringing the stick down like this instead of pushing it down with the index finger. You just do that simply by adjusting the position of your thumb from here to here, okay? Make sure your thumb is pointing towards the audience instead of looking at the audience like that. As soon as you make sure that that thumb is over top of the stick, that fixes everything. And right away, everything just starts to feel way better. So next time you're sitting around the kit, you're practicing that traditional grip, do a little bit of self-analysis, take a look at your hand while you're playing, and make sure that everything is working the way it should. These 5 things that I pointed out, they are all working together. And sometimes it takes a little bit of work to make sure, because if a couple of those things are missing, that's where you can run into problems. So I hope that all helps. By the way, I know some of y'all have been looking at my sticks and trolling me because they're all chewed up. Listen, if your sticks ain't chewed up, you ain't playing enough. Thanks for watching this video. Do me a solid though before you leave. I know y'all been looking at this hoodie. This is the traditional hoodie. This is one of the more popular ones. There's a link in the description box. This is a Beatdown exclusive. Matter of fact, that's my hand right there. That link is going to take you straight over to my merch shop. I got all kinds of t-shirts, hoodies, snapbacks, all of that stuff. Anytime you pick up a piece of merch, you support this channel. So if you dig this content or you just think I'm cool, go ahead and pick something up. Go ahead and drop a comment below if you got one. Make sure you share this video if you dig it. Like, subscribe. See you next video.